There's something deeply misunderstood about growing old. People think that aging is only about aches, wrinkles, or slowing down. But if you look closely, the real danger isn't physical. It's invisible. It's when life begins to feel smaller, when the days start blending together, when your sense of meaning quietly slips away. That's when people begin to truly fade. But here's the truth nobody talks about. You do not have to fade. You do not have to accept the quiet disappearance. Staying alive inside after 80 is possible. And today, I'm going to show you how. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and instead of thinking, another slow day ahead, you feel purpose again. You feel wanted. You feel ready. That shift starts with the small things. And those small things are what this video is all about. Stay with me, because we're about to uncover 5 silent thieves that steal your vitality after 80, and how you can stop them before they take over. First, let's talk about movement. When you were young, movement happened naturally. You woke up, ran errands, cleaned, danced, played with your kids or grandkids. But as time passed, movement started to feel optional, or even risky. The fear of falling, the feeling of weakness, or simply the habit of resting more often became normal. Yet, here's what most people don't realize. When you stop moving, your body stops remembering how to move. Muscles weaken, balance declines. Even your circulation and brain activity slow down. It becomes a vicious cycle. The less you move, the less you can move. But breaking this cycle isn't about signing up for marathons. It's about reclaiming motion in gentle, deliberate ways. Stand up every hour and stretch. Walk to your mailbox daily. Plant flowers. Dance to your favorite song, even if it's just a sway in the living room. These little actions send powerful signals to your body that life is still happening. And as long as life is happening, your body stays ready to support you. Never underestimate the power of simple, daily movement. Movement is life. Now, let's move to something more subtle, but just as critical. Your internal clock. Science calls it the circadian rhythm. This clock governs when your body feels awake, when it heals, when it rests, and when it rebuilds. But after 80, this rhythm becomes fragile. Why? Because your connection to natural light becomes weaker. You spend more time indoors. Curtains stay closed. Evenings are filled with artificial light from TVs and phones. And slowly, the clock that once knew exactly when to signal it's time to rest becomes confused. Without proper light exposure, your sleep suffers. You may sleep, yes, but not deeply. Not rest. You wake up feeling tired, your mood shifts, your mind feels foggy, and your energy gone before the afternoon hits. The solution: reconnect with nature's light. Every morning, step outside, even for a few minutes. Feel the sun on your face. Let your eyes drink in the daylight. In the evening, dim the lights. Turn off your screens an hour before bed. Allow your body to transition gently into night mode. Simple, yes. Powerful. More than you imagine, sleep is not a luxury. It is your brain's survival mechanism. The next thief is even quieter. Grief. By the time you're 80, chances are you've lost many people you loved. Friends, family, even lifelong companions. Society teaches us to be strong, to carry on, to smile even when our hearts are heavy. But the human heart was never designed to bury endless sorrow. When grief isn't expressed, it doesn't vanish. It hides in your body. It hides in tension, shallow breathing, insomnia, lack of appetite, and the slow dimming of your spark. I met a man named Samuel once. He lost his wife of 54 years. He rarely spoke of her. People thought he was strong, but behind closed doors, he stopped eating properly. He rarely left the house. He became a ghost of himself. One afternoon, during a casual conversation with an old friend, something cracked. Tears came, years of them unshed. From that moment, Samuel changed. His appetite returned. He began walking daily. He even smiled again. Why? Because grief needs expression, whether through words, writing, prayer, or sharing memories. Letting grief breathe allows life to re-enter. So if you've been carrying silent grief, understand this: you don't have to do it alone. Find someone to talk to, or speak aloud to yourself. Even whispering memories in the quiet of your room can help the healing begin. What is felt heals. What is buried festers. Let your heart breathe again. Next comes something even harder to notice: loss of daily purpose. When you retire, when family visits become rare, when hobbies fade, it's easy to fall into a pattern where your days lose shape. You start sleeping later, eating whenever, passing hours, watching television with no sense of time. But what many don't realize is that without purpose, your body feels it has no reason to stay sharp, no reason to stay strong. The systems start shutting down, not because they fail, but because they aren't being called upon. The cure to purposelessness isn't a grand mission. It's small, meaningful anchors in your day. A routine, a responsibility, a reason to wake up and say, I have something to do. For Ruth, it was simple. At 88, every morning she fed the birds outside her window. She knew them, named them, cared for them. That was her ritual. That was her reason. For another man, it was calling his daughter daily to check on her. Small threads, woven daily, create a life worth living. So if you feel like your days are too quiet, create anchors. Start small. A book club, a phone call, watering your plants, starting a gratitude journal. Purpose is the heartbeat of a vibrant life. When you have a reason to rise each morning, your body responds with energy, your mind with clarity, and your spirit with warmth. Now, let's go deeper into something that touches all of us: connection. In the later years, isolation becomes one of the deadliest threats. Not dramatic isolation, but subtle withdrawal. You stop reaching out. People stop calling as often. You feel invisible. And over time, you begin to believe you are. But isolation doesn't just hurt emotionally. It's tied to higher risks of heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, and even early death. The solution? Reconnect. It may feel uncomfortable at first. Call an old friend. Join a local group, even if virtually. Sit outside where neighbors pass by. Smile, wave, speak first. Every interaction, no matter how small, signals your mind that you still belong, that you are still part of the living world. Being seen, being heard, is nourishment for the soul. Before we finish, let me tell you a secret. The people who live well past 80 and still shine all have one thing in common. It's not luck. It's not perfect health. It's not wealth. It's rhythm. They move daily. They honor light and darkness. They express emotions. They maintain purpose. They stay connected. These rhythms are not optional. They are essential. You might think, but I'm too old to change now. No, you're exactly the right age. Because the moment you decide to show up for yourself, even in tiny ways, you awaken parts of you that may have been sleeping for years. Aging does not mean disappearing. Aging means becoming more aware, more grateful, more deliberate. So, I ask you now, which of these silent thieves resonated most with you? Which one will you face today? Not tomorrow, but right now? Will you take a walk? Will you open your curtains? Will you let yourself cry? Will you call someone? Choose one. Start with one. That's how change begins. If you're still here, still listening, I know something about you. You are not ready to fade. You still want to live. Not just survive, but live. And that choice, right now, makes all the difference. Comment below, I choose to live fully. So I know you're ready to take back your days. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and turn on notifications. This community exists to help you make these years your richest yet. Thank you for spending this precious time with me. Remember, you are still here, you still matter, and the world is still better because of you.